Hey guys, it's Alex Powell here with the Real Estate Leadership and Legacy Podcast. We have Aaron Moore on from GTA House Buyers, an awesome person, super successful, super knowledgeable when it comes to the wholesaling and the real estate investing industry. I'm really excited for you guys to check this one out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our content. Hello, viewers of the Real Estate Leadership and Legacy Podcast. My name is Alex Powell, and I'm here joined with me today with a special guest, Aaron Moore, who I've known now for some time, and I'm very happy to call a dear friend at this point. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Very well, thanks. Great
Excellent.
to be here, Alex.
Yeah, I'm super excited to chat with you and share a bit of yourself and your business and your story with our audience. And I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. So for those of you guys who don't know Aaron, Aaron is a seasoned and successful investor. I've got a bio I'd love to share with you guys here. So Aaron Moore is a multi-award winning real estate investor who is best known for having one of the most established house buying companies in Canada. Since 2008, Aaron has enjoyed buying houses from sellers with house challenges and making it easy and stress-free for them. Using a mix of wholesaling, fix and flips, and long-term holds, Aaron has built a successful real estate company. And I can vouch for that. So do you want to tell us a little bit, starting off, how did you get into investing? I actually don't even know if I know your story after all these years.
So how I got in all those years ago, but like we're going back to probably 2003, 2004. I did know, I had some good influences in my life, entrepreneurial types. So people doing, making basement suites and renting out houses, doing some renos, just enough to get me interested, thinking about real estate. I was just someone pursuing, I had a, corporate job, but I was focused on, I knew it wasn't going to satisfy me. It wasn't for me long term. So I was actively looking at the, investing, entrepreneurial, just different entrepreneurial avenues. So my first steps were, of course, just picking up some rich dad book about real estate investing, reading it, and then buying a house. So it turned out, first my brother bought a property and I helped him do it. And then 6 months later, I bought a property, and it was like a 2-unit, but I just moved some housemates in with me back in 2004. And we're helping each other. It's like taking from one line of credit and helping to buy, building the money for a 5% down payment back then, right? For our first houses. So that's how me and my brother helped each other, just buy our first properties. We both did like rent out a portion and live in. So that was the start. And then it just took a few years. We saw the power of owning a property, basically, and getting some rental income. That's when I said, I want to do more of this. And I just stepped up my education, learned more, sought some wise counsel from those around me locally, and really started looking into this wholesaling thing. It was back, I think, around 2007. I started learning about wholesaling and flipping and thought, hey, this sounds like a great idea and a great way to acquire properties. Just onwards and upwards since then.
Yeah. And now you have one of the most established and largest house buying companies in, I guess, is Ontario. You guys buy all over, don't you?
Yeah, we're all over Ontario, Ottawa, Sarnia, up north now, North Bay, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys thought about potentially branching out of province at all, or?
Well, we think about it. We're not there yet, though. Definitely, we got to build our foundation, build our roots in Ontario stronger. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we would love to do more across Canada, whether that looks like affiliates, some partners in different provinces, or getting our own boots on the ground in different major cities. Yeah, definitely interested and open and thinking about it.
So having bought your first place, you and your brother kind of working back and forth, what made you go down the wholesaling route versus going into more like partnerships, joint ventures, that kind of thing?
I think it was the general concept of acquiring at a discount. And I did very well in acquiring initially because we were, did a lot of bootstrapping, just started slow back, it was 2008. I went full time in this, buying some properties, renovating them, sold some, would renovate, refinance, rent. And yeah, I had some great, I was renovating cheap back then. I had my hands in a lot more than I do now. And yeah, we really could renovate, refinance, and have no money left in the deal after like 6 months. So we've done multiple deals like that. Yeah, sure, some may have a little bit of money left in, but it was a great way to grow a rental portfolio and make money, income, rental income, build wealth, all that sort of thing. And yeah, we still do it today. But yeah, definitely the core business is wholesaling, and it just, why I went that route, I don't know. But part of it is I just did it. In hindsight, I did it a lot more successfully than others around me at the time, because I remember being in a room back in 2010 with a couple hundred people in Ontario learning about wholesaling, and people questioning, does this even work here? And I had already been doing it a little bit by then. And people did put some effort in. There's still people involved in some. I remember that same event. There's still some people involved today that were at that event. Hundreds of people looking at wholesaling and the quick turn and all this sort of thing. But I don't know. It's just like the reasons why I stuck with it and really went gung ho. It is hard to say, but I have always loved kind of like being helping these sellers in a tough situation, like being a solution to them. There is concerns of sellers in these situations being taken advantage of or not having many options. Like if the sheriff, like we got a property under contract yesterday and the sheriff is coming Tuesday. For some people, there's really not many options, but
Yeah.
What are the options for these people? People don't even know what the options are that are available. I appreciate being a company that gives them some good options, and we're helpful people. We're helpful, friendly people. We're here to we're here to make money, but we're here to get it done for them and look after them. So I do feel our industry, it doesn't have maybe the best reputation. Mm-hmm. So I feel there's a need for more people who are going to bring a higher standard to the industry. So
no, I agree with you.
I feel I can do that.
I can vouch for him too, guys, and know him on a personal level. For sure you can. It is interesting. I think that, property and houses have a different feeling depending on who you're dealing with, right? So a lot of people's opinions are, like, what do you mean you can buy something under market value? Often people don't really appreciate how much of a stressor a house can actually be. Like, we've bought houses from people who've literally come to our office and be like, I never want to see this house again. Never, ever, like, please help me, and that exists. It really exists.
Yeah. There's people in tough situations out there. There's life situations, there's house situations. Often people get it all, like, so much builds up, accumulates, the house is falling apart, the family's falling apart, finances are falling apart. Like it all, it's just like a snowball. Yeah. And they got to get out of the situation.
And to be a life jacket and a lifeline for somebody is often invaluable. Most of our reviews and stuff like that when we've helped people are along the same lines. And we don't do it obviously even remotely to the scale that you guys do. We pretty much I always say I'm probably one of the worst wholesalers that exists because we buy whatever we want to flip or whatever we want to close on. So we end up passing out on a lot of stuff. So that's awesome. I did want to get into some stuff on what you're doing right now, and I wanted to talk about what happened with this last deal that you got. I'm not going to give anything away. I want you to kind of tell the story from the beginning, but you went through a bit of a fraud scenario where somebody duped you and the company, right? So give us the story here. This is awesome. Awesome's not the right word. It's crazy is what the right word is.
It's
crazy.
Something you don't expect every month, that's for sure. And I think it was late 2022, early 23. It was in the papers. There was a lot of fake sellers, and they were actually attempting to sell and selling and closing on properties. So our company got basically duped twice. One of those properties we wholesaled. One of them we bought ourselves. We closed on. So that's the one I really got into, and it was in Mississauga, a big old expensive house in Mississauga. They're not cheap there. We closed on it. We were renovating. We're just doing a minor reno. The painter was in there, and then the painter goes in one day, and we notice someone's been there overnight, which means we hadn't changed the locks yet, but it is what it is. But next day we changed the locks because things had been moved around. We could tell someone had been in there who wasn't supposed to be there. So next day we changed locks, and then someone else comes back. Well, my painter's there the next day and says, like, who are you and what are you doing here, basically? And turns out, yeah, that's when we discovered, oh, we probably got a problem here with all this fraud stuff. And yeah, I think it was a friend. The owner was in a different country, and it was yeah. But conclusion, it took well over a year to get our money back.
So,
And
so just for clarity, quickly, just so I follow the story
yeah,
along as well, you guys had bought a place, closed on it, and the person that you had bought it from, theoretically, was not even the actual owner. And then when you guys were going and renovating it, the actual owner or their representative or a friend of
yeah.
theirs came, and then there was this interaction between the two of you guys. Before we kind of yada yada over that part, like, how did that go? Like, what happened there?
Well, it quickly came out that like the real owner's been in another country for a while. So, I don't know the full backstory. Like somewhere between vacant, friends were staying at the property. I don't know the full story for the last couple of years of the property, but some people had been there to some level, but it was partially vacant, let's say. So we are talking with the owner in who's in China. It's like, but no, I never made direct contact with the owner ever, but through his representative here, he is contacting us to figure out what's going on. And, it quickly looks like it's a fraud situation. And there's been so much of this going on back then in the news that we're like, okay, yeah, it's probably fraud. It's not hard to convince us that it is with different things. Yeah, we got the driver's license and fake ID of the fake seller, and they used that with their lawyer, and they opened bank accounts. These people were, getting through the lawyers, opening bank accounts, taking the money out of bank accounts. So they had their system. It does look like since that time, between title insurance and the lawyers, they're getting much better at verifying ID, and they've got much better checking systems in place. So it looks like the problem's under control, the last 6 months anyways. So that is good. But it was, we were talking with private investigators, had to go and get interviewed, people on my team, myself. There was a lot of evidence being collected. So there's a whole talking a bit with the police, all this sort of thing. Yeah.
That's wild. That is absolutely wild. And so, what's the final result? Where are we sitting at now?
Final result is I got the purchase price back, so none of the other costs yet through title insurance. Now I know others who've been through this scenario, and they got much more than just a purchase price back. So it's not quite over. We're still digging into what else we should be getting back with all legal fees, land transfer costs, all these sort of things, our rental costs,
cost of debt for sure.
yeah, cost of debt, interest. So yeah, so we, it's not said and done, but the majority of the funds are back to us, which is partial good news.
Very
Currently,
wild.
it's a loss on the books, but that happens occasionally.
Indeed. Indeed. What a story, though, eh? What a
Yeah,
story. So,
and it was strange. Just a few months after that, someone else. We were very cautious, but someone else was trying to sell us. Another fake seller was trying to sell us a property, and they were so adamant. We like the signs, like, because the lawyers and title insurance have this better ID verification process at that point, and they failed it, and they kept trying to pass it, but they never could, and we kept telling them, like, everyone thinks you're a fraud, like, you really need to bring good proof, but they kept pushing. And then I don't know, I think towards the end, the lawyer said they called the police on them. I don't know what happened, but they didn't talk with us afterwards at some point. But these people are quite bold in a negative way.
yeah, yeah. So, if I may ask, with this market and kind of what we've seen with interest rates and things like that, how has that affected the wholesaling business? How has that affected like operations for you guys?
Hmm. Well, from the seller point of view, because changes in the market affect our, say our marketing, the people calling us. So we do have, over the past number of months, a lot more people calling us who can't afford their mortgages anymore because the interest rates have gone up so much. So we are getting an influx of those types of sellers. Their houses are no longer affordable. Some of it's as simple as the mortgage renewal comes up, the new rate's a lot higher. It's just not affordable for them. So then they end up calling us, just looking at their options. If they need a faster sale, then they're probably calling us. If it's if they're not in a rush, they're probably going with a realtor. But they're depending on their situation. So that's definitely one way it's affecting us. I think that's probably the main way. There's more sellers, reaching out to us over this. Of course, on when we're wholesaling to investors, there's more caution in the market right now. So buyers, investors are a little more cautious. But I think with the spring market, it's stronger, hotter than it has been for maybe the past 6 months. So there's more confidence coming back. We do, like, on the investor side, I think we're doing solid now. We're okay. More confidence has come back than, say, 4 to 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay.
Well, we're seeing it here too. We were helping a client buy a place, and twice now we've lost out on multiple offers. And this is on
Yeah.
the MLS, but you are seeing, like, especially around a certain price point. I'm more familiar, obviously, here in Hamilton, St. Catharines, versus where you live out in the Toronto area. But definitely, the affordability is keeping the price point kind of anything like 650 and below is still kind of flying off the shelves, you know. But anything above that's really getting hammered.
Yeah. And if we could see, like, in the different markets, um, we're doing a couple deals in Pickering and Ajax recently, and a couple I'm thinking are around the million plus mark. And if it's a deal for the area, there's still quite a bit of attention on some of these, depending on the neighborhood, of course, on some of these higher priced properties.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's good to see this, like, compared to in the winter. It's definitely hotter right now.
for sure, for sure. I'd like to talk a little bit about the team, and because of course this is real estate leadership and legacy, and
Yes.
I know you to be a strong leader, not just as a business owner, but you're also a strong leader in the community too. I remember when I first started Rain, I was like just some Twinkie coming in there, but you were a top dog at that time. So it's you have the impressive clout that and the experience to back it. But how has your journey in leadership kind of evolved over the years, and what does your organization look like, and where are you aspiring to
Yeah.
get to?
Yeah. Well, like, I have always enjoyed helping others to some degree. Like, I'm not spending all my time helping others or anything like that, but I like to do what I can to help, kind of lift people up. Like, I myself come from, certainly nothing financial. I have
Mhm.
no financial wealth background in the family, so come from, just, I think most of us come from nothing. Like, you graduate college, university, and you have a negative net worth, then you make it work from there, right? So
Mhm.
many of us are in that scenario. So I do like to just see people, do what they can with their lives and make the most of it. And yeah, I've been around the Toronto real estate scene for a while, so I've had my successes, and I've certainly had my moments to train others and that sort of thing. But yeah, the current focus is more with my team, my company, growing GTA house buyers. It's like every year, it's the more people on the team, more local employees, more virtual staff members. So every year we're growing. We're doing more. We're doing. It's always a focus of, I want to do more locally in the, like, Golden Horseshoe and GTA and Ontario. But yeah, then it's how can we also spread out our geography, do more across Ontario, and then, as you mentioned earlier, consider other provinces. So that's always a question. But yeah, with the team, it's very much, with the company, it's very much about the team and having other leaders on the team now, people who will, like, be accountable to grow the company with me. It's very much beyond me now. We've got other great, talented folks on the team. It's like, there's my time to learn, and my time to teach, and my time to follow, and my time to lead nowadays. So
Yeah, that's an interesting development actually, is that when you aren't delegating so much and other people are being delegated are doing the delegating for you, you're effectively raising the future leaders of your organization so that you can slowly step out of each role. It's a fascinating place to be. It's a hard one to get out of the first rung. I've gone up and down that yo-yo many times. Yeah.
yeah, it takes time, and I I think I was There's some quotes that people always repeat. Like one I always repeat is, because I'm always thinking about it. Is something to the effect of, people always overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years.
Hmm.
So for me, like, that rings true with what we're talking about now. Like, developing the team, developing people, it takes a while. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult to do in a year.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
one big aha that I've had over the last, I'd say probably 2 months. I started with a coach, and it was developing myself first and allowing the
yeah,
business to be truly refined, and having my vision and my mission really laser focused. Because you read stuff, and I've done this exercise before, but you don't realize how deeply you have to ingrain, and you have it's you yourself have to change in such a way that because your company grows to the extent that you do. That's another quote that I
yes,
really like. And people live within your sphere or work within your sphere. And if they outgrow your sphere, they'll leave because there's just no spot for them, or there's no place for them to be. So that constant like growth side of an individual is so key and so important to like helping leaders grow. I'm speaking like I know what I'm talking about here, but like we have employees, but we're not at the stage yet where like our employees are now hiring other employees, kind of thing, right? It's a
right.
it's a real challenge.
Yeah, well, like, one of our core values is, like, it's more of an internal one, but it is like, learn, improve, grow. It's that growth thing. We're here to grow as individuals. We're here to grow as a company. And it was just recently I heard on a podcast that Tony Robbins was a guest. I thought, hey, what's Tony Robbins up to recently? But he said, and this, I kind of resonate with it. Like, he said the two most, and when you hear someone say, okay, here are the two most important things in life, I kind of listen. And if it's Tony Robbins, like, okay, what is it, Tony? And he
Yeah,
said, to grow and to give. And I was like, that sounds about right. Like, those, you can debate whatever you want, but
yeah,
those things are high up on my list too. And so
100%.
growing, giving back, contributing,
I think those
those
are, if I'm not
pretty high.
mistaken, he's got the six basic human needs, right? It's like you need consistency, you need like inconsistency, I guess. You need love, but like the two last ones that he said are the most important is to grow and to give beyond yourself, which I
Yeah.
think are really
Yeah.
impactful, awesome things. But one of the you had mentioned here, you have a key purpose indicator. You want to tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
Sure. So that's just something we developed this year, to like to focus on our company's purpose. And maybe I've got it nearby, some of these things. Like, I keep some of my purpose and my vision on the walls around
Mhm. That's
for the
good.
company. But yeah, so we refined our purpose this year, and then we made a measurable, a key purpose indicator. So it's like, these purposes, these kind of missions, are sometimes, they aren't tangible enough. So I'll just quickly read what our purpose is. So at GTA House Buyers, our purpose is to compassionately assist sellers, empower our team towards leadership and prosperity, and make a positive impact in our community. So how do we measure that? Is the question. And we
Hmm.
decided that a percentage of revenue will go towards the community, helping some of these sellers in tough situations that we work with, but also our team. So the people on the team, specifically towards buying real estate. It is right now, it's over 1% of the revenue of the company goes towards helping the team buy property, whether it's their next personal residence, their first home, or a rental property, whatever it is, just real estate. Because that's our industry. That's what we want people to
Hmm.
do. Build their wealth, become more prosperous. So we just started this year, and just in the last couple of weeks, our first team member, I'm proud of him. He bought his first home.
It's
He's
amazing.
in sales on our team and doing well. And it's just, yeah, this kind of stuff. I'm wealthy enough, right? Like, I'm okay. So I quite enjoy doing things like this. It's more fun for me. It gives me more kind of mission and purpose.
For
So
sure.
it makes me happy, puts a smile on my face when we can help our team do this kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that. That is awesome, and that is something that is so it builds team culture. Everyone's rallying for the same goal, the same mission, and it's something that everyone can really believe in. That's amazing. It's amazing. So, congrats to him, by the way. Uh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good. Good thing he took action and, jumped on the first little fund from the company to go towards his first home.
For sure. And I think it's also useful too, is that, that being kind of coached by a seasoned real estate investor, there's all kinds of ways to skin a cat. I have a client of mine who just bought a kind of a rural property out in Grassy on market, was on market for like 15 minutes and we had an offer in for him. So we got it. But now it's like structuring the deal is unique because this property is pretty much a tear down. He has his current property, which he needs to leverage to help support the renovations that he's going to be doing. Understanding how you can play the financial game and how you can use stuff. I told him, I was like, the finances and the tools you bring on the finance side, it's like having an arsenal or a tool belt, like a hammer or a drill. It's just another strategy, another thing that you can implement. I think that those are also very beneficial things when, someone like yourself is coaching a young buck who's looking to get into
Yeah.
real estate. You can teach them the ins and outs and the ways to beat the system.
Yeah, just like I started with those, the Burr method, buying undervalued, doing the renos, and keeps more money in your pocket, and can recycle that money and all that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So the last part of our podcast here is legacy, and you did touch on it, with your team and what you're planning to do to give back to the community. But is there anything else you want to add when you think about legacy, like your family, legacy, you as an investor within the community? What comes to mind when you think of legacy?
legacy. Yeah, couple things. Yeah, one child, my daughter. So I hope it's not too much pressure on her, but I definitely want to have it just an impact on her, and she'll go the direction of her choice. But I certainly want to be a good example, role model. And hey, if I can help her create, grow the business of her choice, or if she wants to help build our company, then awesome. No pressure, but that's certainly a direction for the future. With our company, I do want to see our company around decades from now. I want it to grow. I would like to be across Canada, so I'm here to grow the company. We're all about Tony Robbins, giving and growing. So
Yeah,
let's ramp it up.
very good. So it's a phase shift from investor to growth-oriented business owner.
Yeah, I would say that the focus, the primary driver, the focus is the growth business, and then investing will happen in the background more. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I've often thought with we've got the three boys, and there's still like 4, 3, and 1 right now. But I always joke saying that we've got a landscaping crew, we got an electrical crew, we got a plumbing crew. We still need like an HVAC, I think, and probably a framer would be very helpful. But of course, helping mold these young minds and spirits into entrepreneurial beings where they can take the reign and carve out their own futures. I think that really resonates with me too, for sure, helping create their own destiny.
Yeah. It's just we're all born with this potential. It's just getting it harnessed, right? So let's see how we can harness these youngsters.
That's awesome. Well, listen, Aaron, you are a absolute wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information. We're perfect timing right now as well too, as I'm seeing. Where can people find you? How can people connect with you? What are you looking for, and how can our community help grow your business?
Sure. Well, hey, we're always hiring salespeople, inside sales, outside sales. So that's something people can connect with. Investors often like to look at our discounted properties, so they can go to our website, housedealsgta.ca, and get notified of properties in different areas, because we are going all over Ontario now, so you can specify the different parts of Ontario you want to be notified about for deals. So we can do that. But yeah, check us out if you're looking for employment, you want to work in sales, or if you want to invest, then let's connect.
Looks like I'm coming to work for you. Yeah.
Awesome. Look forward to the application, Alex.
Yeah. But just as a note to you guys too, you don't have to be an investor. If you're just listening to this, to get some insight on real estate and things like that, you guys sell to end user home buyers, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, people just like seeing our deals. Hey, if you never plan to buy for a couple of years, just sign up to see our
Yeah.
deals. It's great to keep an eye on it, and then when you're ready, you'll be like, hey, a couple of years down the road, you need your home, you need an investment property. You'll know what the deals look like.
And I can honestly confirm we've bought a place off you. I think was it
That's
one or
right.
two? Yeah. We still have it actually.
Nice.
That was
Yeah,
a very
I
good deal.
remember the Hamilton one. Yeah.
A lot of cobwebs in that puppy. All right, buddy. Well, listen, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day to chat with us and our listeners, and all the blessings to you and your family. And I wish you nothing but all the success.
Thank you, Alex. Awesome to be here.